Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this part of the presentation, I will discuss the background of Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz Nikmat, focusing on his early life and educational background. Tuan Guru Datuk Tentara Setia Ni Abdul Aziz bin Nikmat was born on the 10th of January 1931 in Pulau Melaka, Kota Baru, Kelantan. He was raised in a religious family, where his father, Haji Nikmat, was a respected religious teacher. This religious environment played an important role in shaping his early Islamic values and discipline. From a young age, Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz showed a strong interest in Islamic learning. He began his education in local religious schools in Kelantan before continuing his studies at several traditional Islamic institutions, commonly known as pondok. One of the most influential institutions in his early education was Pondok Tuk Kenali, which was well known as a center of Islamic scholarship in Malaya. To further strengthen his religious knowledge, Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz pursued higher education abroad. He first studied in India and later continued his studies at Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt. At Al-Azhar, he specialized in Usuluddin, which focused on Islamic theology. This educational experience strengthened his understanding of Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah and shaped his intellectual foundation. After completing his studies, Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz returned to Malaysia and began his role in religious education and da'wah. He served as a teacher and preacher and was widely known for his clear explanation of Islamic teachings, firm principles, and strong moral integrity. His simple lifestyle also contributed to the respect he received from the Muslim community. In summary, the background of Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz Nikmat reflects a strong foundation in Islamic education, religious discipline, and Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah theology. This background later shaped his significant role in the Islamic movement in Malaysia.
My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Suhaili. My matric number 1231914. Before this, we was heard about the biography or background Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz Nikmat, more detailing and also more clearly. So, next I will continue in my part about explain the main part of Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz Nikmat, focusing on his understanding of Islam, dawah and politics as an Islamic movement leader in Malaysia. The first main part, which is Islam as a manhaj al-hayah, means comprehensive way of life. Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz Nikmat view Islam as a manhaj al-hayah, meaning a complete and comprehensive way of life. According to him, Islam does not only govern matters of belief and worship, but also morality, politics, economic, and also governance. He firmly rejected the idea of separating religion from politics. In his view, politics must be guided by Islamic values and principles. Therefore, politics is not an end in itself, nor a pursuit of power, but rather a means or wasilah for da'wah, aimed at upholding justice, moral integrity, and obedience to Allah. Next part, or the next main part, which is a da'wah approach based on wisdom, means hikmah, and compassion means rahmah. Tuan Guru emphasized a da'wah approach rooted in wisdom and compassion. He also strongly rejected extremism, violence, and coercion in the name of Islam. Instead, he promoted da'wah through gentle advice, good character, and personal example. His own lifestyle reflected simplicity, humility, and moderation, which strengthened the credibility of his message. He was also open to dialogue with non-Muslim, meaning interfaith dialogue with other religions, also believing that peaceful engagement and mutual understanding are essential for conveying the true image of Islam, a religion of mercy. Next part is firm adherence to Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Tuan Guru Abdul Aziz Nikmat maintained unwavering commitment to the theological and jurisprudential framework of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. In Islamic jurisprudence, fiqh, he adheres to the Shafi'i school, which is traditionally dominant in the Malay worldview. In matters of great Aqidah, he upheld Ash'ari theology, emphasizing balance between reason and revelation. In terms of spirituality, he practiced tasawwuf rooted firmly in the Quran and Sunnah, focusing on self-purification, which is tazkiyatun nufus, sincerity, ikhalas, and moral discipline. He also rejected mystical excesses and practices that deviate from authentic Islamic teaching. At the same time, he was critical of modern ideologies such as liberalism and secularism, regarded as incompatible with the Islamic worldview due to their tendency to marginalize divine guidance in public life. The last point is a politic grounded in morality and taqwa. Tuan Guru Abdul Aziz Nikmat believed that political engagement must be firmly grounded in morality and taqwa. He consistently emphasized ethical values such as honesty, amanah, accountability, and justice as fundamental principles. He also strongly rejected corruption, oppression, and injustice and abuse of power, considering them major moral failures that undermine both governance and society. He frequently reminded political leaders that authority is not privilege or personal entitlement, but a trust amanah bestowed by Allah. This trust entails responsibility not only before the people but ultimately before Allah in the hereafter, where every leader will be held accountable for their action.
My name is Aziz bin Yuzaimi. My meeting number is 123193. And now I want to talk about the contribution of Tuan Guru Abdul Aziz on Islamic movement in Malaysia. Tuan Guru has many contributions on Islamic movement in Malaysia. First one is Islam in government. As Kelantan Chief Minister, he introduced the slogan developing with Islam, making the Quran and Sunnah the basis of government policies. This shows that Islam could guide modern governance, not just religious talk. Secondly, spiritual politics. He made collective prayers and salat hajat part of government culture, especially during political challenge and election. This created a style of leadership based on faith, passion, and reliance on God. Thirdly, moral social policies. He closed gambling centres, nightclub, and controlled alcohol sales. This shows that the Islamic movement cares about moral reform and social responsibility. Fourth, Islamic economy. Under his leadership, Kelantan moved state fund to Islamic Bank, introduced Islamic pawnbroking, yakni Ar-Rahnu, separate halal and non-halal finance, and gave interest-free loan to state workers. Fifth, Islamic law. He led the passing of the Sharia Criminal Code, yakni Hudud, in 1993. Even though it was not fully implemented, it placed Islamic law at the heart of national political discussion. Sixth, Islamic education. He introduced Tahfiz and Tahfiz Science School, combining Quran memorization with modern subjects to prepare future Muslim leaders. And lastly, leadership by example. His simple life, honesty, and strong moral character become a model for Islamic leadership, building public trust and moral strength for the movement.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For my part, we will focus on the role of Tuan Guru Abdul Aziz bin Nikmat in upholding and strengthening the manhaj of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah in Malaysia, particularly through his balanced, non-extreme, and wisdom-based approach in matters of creed. Tuan Guru Abdul Aziz was firmly grounded in the Ash'ari creed, which is the mainstream creed of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah in the Malay world. However, what distinguished him was not merely his affiliation, but his attitude, an attitude rooted in knowledge, mercy, and intellectual humility. He consistently emphasized that unity of the Ummah must be preserved, and that difference in method of explanation should not be turned into tools of division. Okay, now we will talk about his position on the teaching of Sifat 20. One important issue often discussed is the topic of Sifat 20. The 20 attributes of Allah traditionally taught in Malay Islamic education. Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz did not reject the teaching of Sifat 20. At the same time, he did not declare it obligatory in a rigid or absolute sense. His position was clear and balanced. Sifat 20 is a method of teaching, not the religion itself. He viewed Sifat 20 as a pedagogical framework developed by scholars to help the general public understand the fundamentals of Tawheed. It is beneficial especially for beginners, but it is not the only valid way to know Allah. For the next part, we will talk about how Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz rejecting extremism and declaring obligation. Tuan Guru Ni Abdul Aziz strongly opposed the claim that anyone who does not study Sifat 20 is sinful or deviant. He present a powerful and simple argument. If studying Sifat 20 were obligatory in itself, then the yearly generation, including the companions, the tabi'in, and the great imams, would be sinful for not studying it. And this, of course, is impossible. The Sahabah knew Allah, believed in His attributes, and upheld pure Tawheed without ever studying Sifat 20 as a formal system. Their faith was based on the Quran, the Sunnah, and sound understanding, not structured theological formulas.
Among the books that Tuan Guru Ni Aziz used to teach the general public about the creed of Islam, or we said as Aqidah Islam or Aqidah Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, are Al-Aqidah Al-Islamiyah wa Ususuha, that write by Sheikh Abdul Rahman Hasan Habanakah, and Mau'izatul Mu'minin min Ihya'i Ulumiddin, that write by Sheikh Muhammad Jamaluddin Al-Qasimi. And Mau'izatul Mu'minin is a summary of book Ihya Ulumiddin, that write by Hujjatul Islam Imam Al-Ghazali. The selection of these two books is significant because these two books is rooted in tradition of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah according to Ash'ari school. The book Al-Aqidah Al-Islamiyah wa Ususuha, that write by Sheikh Abdul Rahman Hasan Habanakah, is the book that used the method of Ash'ariyah to explain the Aqidah of Islam. This book emphasizes on divine transcendence, tanzih, rejection to anthropomorphism, tashbih or tanzih, and combine between an-naqli and aqli. The book Mau'izatul Mu'minin, written by Sheikh Muhammad Jamaluddin Al-Qasimi, is a summary of book Ihya'i Ulumiddin, that written by Imam Hujjatul Islam Al-Ghazali. Hujjatul Islam Al-Ghazali is the most famous scholars of Ash'ariyah school. So, in the book Mau'izatul Mu'minin, in the section of creed or of Aqidah, is based on Imam Al-Ghazali teaching that based on Aqidah Ash'ariyah. So, in conclusion, both texts that Tuan Guru Ni Aziz used to teach the general public about Aqidah Islam or Aqidah Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah is based on Ash'ariyah school. That means that Tuan Guru Ni Aziz is Ash'ariyah, or he is agree with the way or method of Ash'ariyah school. in understanding the Aqidah Islam.